firing up and making sure all of my social media pages are up and going. So let me quickly go ahead and say howdy, hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday morning. It is another day for a dose of encouragement. And so for those that are new to me, those that um, um, don't know who I am Tanya LaShawn Bryant, and I am a life coach. I am the owner of Abundant Life Living, where I support women in their journey to really become, in their journey to really overcome obstacles, barriers in their life, fear, procrastination, that's preventing them from living, that's preventing them from experiencing the absolute fullness of life. And I do this through coaching and mentoring and spiritual empowerment and spiritual encouragement. And every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. ish Mountain Standard Time, I am on for what I call a dose of encouragement. And so that is where I inspire, I motivate, I encourage you to move forward in this thing called life, to move forward into destiny, to move forward in living the absolute fullness of life. And I I am just excited to be on, as I was laying in bed and kind of meditating and just, getting myself ready for this day and kind of getting my mindset right. I just began to think about the goodness of God and just how he is keeping me, and I am going through a metamorphosis. I am going through a process of becoming. And so my topic today is I am becoming. I am becoming. And so in the beginning of the year, I declared that this is the year of you, right? This is the year that you pour into you, that you focus in on you, and not because you're this conceited narcissistic person, but because if you don't take care of you, you're not going to be good to anyone else. You're not going to be able to do the things that you long to do if you don't begin to invest in yourself, pour into yourself, love yourself. And that's my message for this year, for every year, right? That this is the season, this is the designated time that I began to take care of myself so that I can serve. I know one man of God who has gone home to, he transitioned, um, and he talked about that we have to serve our gift to the world, and I love that, and I believe that we are here on this earth to serve mankind, to serve the gifts, to serve the talents and the strengths and the abilities that you possess, to serve them to the world. But if you don't first learn how to serve yourself, you can't effectively empower and serve and love the way you're supposed to, because if you're not taking care of yourself. And so I am on a mission, I am on a journey to help folks really begin to love themselves, to take care of themselves. And so in that process, um, you just do. You just do. And so my topic today is I am becoming. I know what I wanted to say. In addition to my theme for this season and for every season to come. There are four guiding questions that I'm looking at this year, right? And so those four guiding questions are: who are you today? Who are you yet to become? What's blocking you from becoming? And are you a yes to you? See, in order for you to take care of yourself, you've got to kind of go inward, right? You've got to begin to deal with the inward part of you. You've got to begin to deal with your mindset. You've got to begin to deal with how you think, how what you think about yourself, how you interact with you. And so in coaching, and I say this all the time in my training, we have learned a process called, or we use tools called powerful questions. And so those questions make you go introspective. They make you look at the inner you. They make you look at yourself. We ask you these questions to help propel you into action, to help propel you to move forward in life. So those questions are what I am using in my own personal life, and with those that I work with. So my question that I'm looking at kind of this month and focusing on is: who are you yet to become? And so my topic is: I am becoming. I am becoming. And I talked about that last week, and I want to continue to expound on this idea, this concept of what are you becoming? I am becoming. And so I'm looking, I can only teach from a space of my experience, of what I have dealt with, what I am going through. And so this morning, as I was preparing and meditating and centering my day and asking Father to guide me in my day, and to to do some introspective work, one of the things that I heard was, I am becoming. I am becoming. And so when we talk about this idea of becoming, what that means is I'm coming into an existence, right? I'm coming into an awareness. I am coming into awareness of who I am, who God's called me to be, who I am called to serve. I am becoming. Now, in that process, in that becoming, there are challenges, right? Because you come into existence. And when I think about coming into existence, we one of the ways of really kind of understanding this concept of becoming and becoming aware, I think about the process of the caterpillar going into this beautiful transformation of this wonderful, beautiful butterfly. Right? It starts off, that caterpillar starts off as this not so attractive um, uh, being, insect, right? It's got this kind of chunky, um furry little hairs that are, it moves very clumpy, and it moves, it's just not the most attractive insect, right? And so but it goes through this transformation. And I imagine, as that caterpillar is going into becoming this butterfly, that in that process, that there's some pain. In that process, there's some fear. There's some all those emotions that we experience that are not fun, right? And so in the process of becoming, you are going to experience some challenges. You're going to experience times when you're not feeling uh, you're not feeling the best. You're not showing up, in the best light that you possibly can. Because why? You're shedding things that maybe are not serving you. So in that process, sometimes it can hurt. Sometimes it doesn't feel good. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's fearful. You're fearful. Sometimes you just think, am I going to get through this process? Again, that caterpillar coming into this beautiful butterfly, but there is a process that the caterpillar goes through in order to become what they're destined to become, that beautiful butterfly. And we've all seen pictures of the beautiful butterfly. But man, that process, that transition of becoming that butterfly can be painful, can be scary, can be daunting, can be like, oh God, am I going to get through this? The shedding of the things that are not serving you. And so I am becoming, you are becoming. And in that becoming, when you become aware and you know that you're called to greater, you have to allow yourself to go through that process, though it may hurt. Though it may be painful, you need to understand that trouble's not going to last always, right? You're going to be able to go through it. But just the fact that you have said, I am becoming, I am ready to become, the Lord, sign me up. I want to become what you've called me to be. No matter what the circumstance and the situation. And I'm not saying that it's always a grueling process, but know that in that again, for you mamas out there, you've gone through the birthing process. You have this beautiful, and that's a great, analogy when we think about becoming. You have this life in you. You have this wonderful being. You have this wonderful life that is growing inside of you. And that it takes 9 months typically for that beautiful life to manifest. But in that time, there's times when you've got swollen feet. There's time when you're first starting in your first trimester. Many of you, you had morning sickness. You were throwing up. It didn't feel right. It didn't fit. Some of you, you had to you couldn't even move. Let me just lay down. Because you were becoming, that baby was growing and it was becoming. And that's the same thing. And so some of you may be encountering some challenges. Stay the course. Stay the course. I say that from experience. I say that because I'm experiencing that right now. Stay the course. Stay the course, because that beautiful butterfly will manifest if you go through that process. And so when we talk about process, you must go through the process in order to become. And so when we talk about process, let me pull it up here. So process is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. See, you are wanting to achieve that particular end of becoming who God's called you to become, but you've got to take the steps. You've got to go through the process. You've got to take the necessary steps and actions. And sometimes those steps are not fun. And sometimes they don't feel good. And sometimes they cause pain. That's a part of the process in order to become, right? So I want to encourage you today. Many of you are becoming. You're becoming. You are coming into an existence of who you are, who fathers call you to be. Many of you are up leveling. You're in a season of transition, in a season of doing what God's called you to do. But in that process, and if you're really, really leaning into becoming, leaning in to what God's called you to do, You've got to learn to trust him. And I want to leave you with this passage of scripture in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And this is one of my go-to scriptures that I lean on as I am becoming. And it simply says, and of course I'm going to read it from the Amplified Bible because I love the Amplified Bible and I love how it articulates um, um, how it just articulates the word, how it just kind of just articulates the heart of God. That's what I was trying to say. So it says in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, trust in, rely confidently on the Lord with all of your heart. With all of your heart. Now, that word heart is not just talking about this organ that gives us life, but that word heart, when we look it up, and let me, I'm looking at my Blue Letter Bible that allows me to go deeper. And so that word heart is called labi. It's the Hebrew, it's labi, and it means the inner man. It means your mind. It means your soul, the heart of man, where your emotions, the seat of your emotions and passions. And so Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 is saying, trust in, rely confidently on the Lord with all of your heart, with your mind, with your emotions. Do not rely. So trust in and rely confidently on who? The Lord. With all of your heart, with your whole being, with your soul, with your mind, with your thoughts. Do not rely on your own insight or your own understanding. See, your mind, if it's not been renewed, will trick you into aborting the process of becoming. Right? So this scripture is saying, trust in the Lord, rely confidently on the Lord with all of your heart, and do not rely on your own mindset, especially if it's not been renewed, especially if you if you have not gotten into the Spirit and allow Father to wash you and to, so it's saying, don't rely on your own insight or your own understanding. Then verse 6 says, in all your ways, acknowledge and recognize him. And what will he do? He will make your path straight and smooth, removing obstacles that block your way. And that was the Amplified. I want to read it in another version. I just love that passage of scripture because let's read it in the King James Version. And it says in King James, trust in the Lord with all of thine heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge in him, and he shall direct your path. In all your ways acknowledge him. You are becoming, and in this process of becoming, it's going to be painful in some regards. There's going to be some pain that you're going to experience, but it's so worth going through the process. It's so worth you going through the process of becoming, because in the end, as we talked about with the caterpillar, as we talked about giving birth, you're going to have this beautiful being when you give birth. In the analogy of the caterpillar, you're going to see this beautiful butterfly manifest, which was in you all this time. But you've got to go through the process. Trust in God. Trust in God. Lean to him. Don't lean to how you're feeling. Don't lean to what's going on in your mind if you have not renewed your mind. Lean to God. Trust in him, and he will help you to become. I am going to stop there. I hope that for those that will come and watch the replay, I hope that you have gotten some insight. I hope that you've got something that will you've got a dose of encouragement to help you move forward. I want to encourage you, if you are hearing what I'm saying and you're thinking, Tanya, I need some support, because we were not created to reside in a vacuum or to reside in this island all by ourselves, right? God, we are not alone. And so I am here to help support you in that journey. And in doing so, you can um, you can set up a free complimentary discovery call so we can see how I can support you. You can go to bit.ly/call Tanya. It's scrolling if you're watching where the words are scrolling at the bottom. You can go to bit.ly/call Coach Tanya to schedule a free complimentary discovery call so I can see how I can support you in your journey to become. Also, if you're looking for a community to join, I encourage you to join the Abundant Life community at bit.ly/ABD Life Community. If you want more engagement, if you want more, there's more videos that I have up there of just of the doses of encouragement. You feel like you need some encouragement, and I'm only on Tuesdays, so you can go through and just engage and be a part of that community. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next Tuesday. Take care. Go live life abundantly. God bless. Bye.